It's the Bible of all millionaires. It's one of the most famous success books ever written in history. Over 15 million copies sold, and it took Napoleon Hill 20 years to write it, interviewing 500 people of the most successful people in the United States. So what is Think and Grow Rich? The first fundamental idea that the book talks about is the power of thoughts. Now, in terms of building wealth, the book has a formula. There's a statement that you need to write and read every single time when you wake up and every single day before going to bed. And the statement is pretty simple, but it's a little bit more precise than what most people think. You're going to write down how much money you want to make, and by when do you want to make this money, and then you're going to put the kind of work you are going to do in order for you to receive this money, and how are you going to give back to the community and give back to the world and give back to the universe because you got what you wanted. So the formula is pretty simple, and there's going to be a bit more details about it in the description below, some links that can redirect you to websites where you guys can actually get to write your own statement and start with it. Now, the third thing we want to talk about that Think and Grow Rich also talks about is the concept of auto-suggestion. In other words, affirmations. What you feed yourself, what you say to yourself. Instead of saying to yourself, I am lazy, you're saying to yourself, I am energized. Instead of saying to yourself, I can't, you're saying to yourself, I can. This is the power of auto-suggestion. This is the power of affirmations. And good thing about it is, if you improve by 1% every week, so just imagine this, 80% of your thoughts are negative. And if you work on improving your thoughts by 1% every single week by using affirmations, in 8 months, the majority of your thoughts will be positive compared to the average person who has 80% of his daily thoughts that are negative. You will have a bit less than 50% of thoughts that are negative, and that's just in a span of 8 months. You can change your life tremendously if you follow this example, if you follow this exercise. Now, the book also talks about organized planning. There is one of my favorite quotes that says, failing to plan is planning to fail. So it's one thing to have goals. It's one thing to say, I want to make $45 million by the age of 31. And it's another thing to say how you're going to do it. Most people stop. Most people have this obstacle in front of them, whether it's mental or physical or resources related, because they don't have a plan of action. And the book highly emphasizes the fact that we need to have a plan of action, and once we do, things would become a lot easier. Moving on, the book also talks about the importance of decision and persistence. Now, keep in mind, in the book, those two are written in different chapters, but I want to put them both together because decision without persistence is not going to get you anywhere. You need to decide, and that's the first step, to make a decision and say no more. Say I will, say I need to, say I can, and then persist. Don't stop until you get to the place you're trying to get to, until you hit the target, until you reach your goals. Don't stop. Keep on persisting. And lastly, one of the most important thoughts also in this book is called the mastermind. The idea is pretty simple. If you're sitting by yourself, you have one brain. If you're sitting with another person, you have your brain, you have his brain, and then you have one third brain that's formed, which is the combination of both your brains, which is the combination of both your creativity, both your ideas, both your imagination, and this third brain is a lot more powerful. Now, if you have 3 people, what if you have 4 people? What if you have 5 people? That's why Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich also emphasizes the importance of the mastermind. Surrounding yourself with like-minded people who will get you to where you're trying to get. Surround yourself with people who will help you grow. One last thing to keep in mind before you go, it is basically the building stone upon which this book was written, which is desire. Whatever you're trying to get, you need to feel the desire to actually get it. It is one thing to say, I want to do something, or I wish I can have more money, I wish I can be more fit, I wish this, I wish that, I hope this, I hope that. It's another thing to say, I need to. When you move from the stage of want to the stage of need, your desire is changing. You're not just wanting to do something, but you highly desire to acquire something or to get somewhere. And this is the thin line that makes all the difference between those who make it and those who don't. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you like this book, go in the description below. I have some links that you can use to buy the book and start reading it, because it is life-changing. I can't tell you how many times I've read this book over and over and over again, and every single time I do, I learn more. And if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button below so you can know when I'm releasing new videos for you.